Hey guys, Symphony here. Today I will be creating the Season 4 tier list prediction for all the guns. Also, while talking about the gun, I will show on the screen the pattern of the recoil, so you don't have to try it on the practice range by yourself. Okay, so first let's start with the light class. And already we can start with the new gun. I already played with it a couple of games in early access of the Season 4, and I can say that for sure this gun is not bad, and actually I can say that this can be top 5 weapon for the light class. That's why I'm predicting it to be A tier right now. You can actually 3-shot heavy with it. Of course you don't need to headshot him because this is a shotgun, so that's quite interesting, but you need to be very close. This gun is very reliable and consistent. That's why I don't think you need much practice with this gun to hit your shot and be overall useful. I try to play with dash with this gun to 3-shot people, but for me it's for sure the best with the cloak. This shotgun have insane bullet and you can one-shot medium class. It's not really that hard to hit those 2 shots, but that means you need to be very close to the actual people to have even a chance to kill them. So the Matter shotgun have 8 bullets and this have 2, so this gun can be very forgiving on close range. You can miss few shots and you are still very fine, but here if you miss 1 shot you are usually in very bad situation, so that's why I'm rating this shotgun C tier. Next let me rate the XP54. So this was the most popular gun from season 1 to season 3. That's because you can shoot people from really long distances, so you don't need to risk dying. Also the recoil pattern in this gun is quite easy. XP54 got damage decreased from 18 to 16, so I think this is good enough for the gun to drop from S tier to A tier this patch. But I still think this is very good gun for the light class. Now let me talk about Uzi, because this is the similar gun for the XP, but it is extremely close range and the pattern is way harder than XP54. This gun is for sure not bad, you can actually make very good use of it, but in a more competitive game, if you for example play versus light with XP, this gun is way worse. That's I'm predicting it to be B tier in this season. Now the pistol. This gun is kinda interesting because it also can be used at longer distances just like XP, but it was really hard to aim, it had no sight, but right now, because they added a sight to this pistol, I actually think this can be S tier also. I think one addition the devs should add to this gun, that this should be way more quiet, so there's actually value from the silencer. Now the throwing knives. They were D tier before for me, but right now I will put the throwing knives in the C tier. They got buffed in season 3, but as the medium class got long range gun right now, as well as heavy got somewhat long range guns, I don't think the throwing knives will be better this season. They are not bad by any means, but overall I think you need to practice a lot to make use of them, because you need to hit the shots, for example in the air, which is very hard. But also of course, as this is most play with the dashes, you need to also have the knowledge how to make good use of these dashes. That's why this is even harder. Okay, next sniper rifle. Sniper just got nerfed in terms of range. Now after the 40 meters range, shot becomes a projectile, so you need to predict their movement in the long distances, and also the gravity will drag the bullet in the long range, so you basically need to aim a little bit higher, above your target. If you are very good with the sniper, I think I can rate this A tier this season, but overall, let's be honest, there's a few people who can play this really good, so I will just put it in B tier, maybe after this throwing knives. And now the Dagger. Oh my beloved Dagger. If someone can play Dagger, it is actually insanely tilting to be killed by it. This weapon got buffed with this patch, while you can actually charge your right click, so the time for killing the person is lowered, which is extremely good buff for this. This weapon is very hard for me to judge, because I don't play with Dagger, but still I'm predicting it to be B tier. I think it will be way better than last Dagger, but last on B tier is fine, I think. And now the light class sword. So sword got a little buff, they are actually good. You can now dash a little bit longer and the right click is a little bit more accurate. You can be very good with sword if you know all the techs with dashing and stuff, but I think because of medium class got the long range gun pike and also the sight into the revolver, the melee weapons will be much harder to use in my opinion. I think overall you can be A tier with this weapon if you are extremely good, but just being honest with you, I think this is C tier. This is easy to counter and you can't one-shot people like with the Dagger, so that's why I'm putting it C tier. Okay, and now LJ1. Okay, so this gun, of course, the open beta season 1, it was extremely broken. Then in season 3, also after one buff, it got extremely broken. So we already can see this gun is really hard to balance. This LJ1 with the new sight is so good that this is incredible. So maybe it will be insane, but I think this is the best weapon for the light class right now, even better than XP54, but this is just my prediction, so let's see. And the 93R, so this pistol who have a burst of 3 bullets, so they did some slightly changes to this gun, but to be honest I feel like I don't need to talk about this. This gun is still D tier for me, just don't use it if you want to win. Not fun and not good, so D tier. And now the Recurve Bow. So actually Recurve Bow was really strong before, just not much people could play the bow correctly, and now they buffed it and increased the minimum damage from 55 to 60 and decreased the damage ramp up. I think this is a really good buff, and my prediction can be a little bit controversial, but I think the bow right now will be on A tier. I think this is a very good choice for the light. If you want to focus only on one gun and become a one-trick pony, for sure the Recurve Bow is a great choice for you. You can make it work in close range as well as long range. Okay, so now the medium class. So again, let's start with the new gun. So this is the pike. This gun is insane, just straight to the face. I think this is S tier, really good damage, and you have actually 12 bullets, which is insane because the revolver have just slightly bigger damage, but from this you can shoot way faster and you have more than 2 times the number of bullets in the magazine, which is, I don't know, I don't understand that. So now Riot Shield, damage from Riot Shield got increased right now in this patch, so this is slightly more useful, but I still think this is not good enough as this weapon is close range and you just don't have close gap. I still think this is T tier. So now the revolver. The revolver got new sight, still this is decent gun. It is way harder to control than their other medium guns. I think the revolver is B tier. There are just 4 better guns for the medium class. Also the pike gun, this is just the revolver but better. So there is no reason to pick the revolver other than you just liking it more. And now the AKM. So the AKM got a sight. So that is a big buff for this gun. The sight helps you win more 1v1s in the medium range, which is very good, but also AKM got nerfed. So now the magazine size went from 36 to 32. So if I'm not mistaken, right now the FCAR will have the DPS and TPM bigger than AKM. So in that case, this is just better version of AKM, I think. So basically, if you have better aim, just pick FCAR, and if you are not sure about your aim or maybe your frames in game are really low, just go for AKM then. I think right now this gun will be sitting at A tier. Now the FCAR, same as AK, this gun is really good. This gun has been meta since the release of the game. You can now have iron sight with this gun in maybe closer range maps, but I don't think it is that much of a buff. This gun is just still very good, so I am putting S tier. Now the shotgun. Shotgun was the main meta gun. You can one-shot the light class with 1 bullet and 1 melee, which is really good. You also, after firing all your bullets, still can just reload 1 bullet, and this is really good in long fights. Overall, the damage with this gun is insane, that's why I'm putting it again is in S tier. And then now the grenade launcher for the medium class. Don't much to say, I don't play this gun at all, so I can just say from perspective being killed by it or playing versus it, and I never had a problem with dealing with this gun, so that's why I'm putting, I think, D tier. Okay, and now the Famas from the medium class. Famas can work, yes, but there's just no way in any case this is better choice than AK or FCAR. You can win with it, especially with the new sight, that's why I will put it Famas in C tier. And the dual blades, it's simple for me, I'm putting in D tier, the worst weapon for the medium class right now. If you disagree with me, I will be happy to see some of your clips when you make it work. I never saw a player who was somewhat useful with this gun, as well I have no idea how you can make it work, so simple D tier. Okay, so now let me talk about the heavy class. Okay, so new Deagles. This gun is extremely cool, by the way. So this gun have some patterns to learn, some recoil, but overall very good gun. Not for everyone, I heard. Not everyone like this kind of gun for the heavy class. I'm still predicting it to be A tier. Very good gun for the heavy. Now the hammer. The hammer's interesting choice. It works with the charge and slam as well as the winch, but of course with the winch this is more obvious choice because you can just kill players winching them into the hammer, which is extremely good. I think though the Sledgehammer will be B tier this patch. Okay, so now the Lewis gun. It was S tier for me for a long time, but now when we get also the sight added to the M60, this to be honest the drop to the B tier. I don't think this is much more useful for the heavy class. Yeah, so speaking about M60, after getting added a sight, I think this gun is extremely good in the heavy class. I can simply put it in A tier. This gun have everything you need for the heavy class. Now the Flamethrower, this gun didn't get any changes, so I'm still putting in its C tier. I think this is just worst version of the hammer in terms of close range weapon. And now the grenade launcher from the heavy class. This is kinda interesting gun. It is of course very hard to use because the grenades can't explode on direct hit, which is very bad, but you can make big damage with it with this gun. You can also shoot from the distance, which is really good, so you are in a safe spot and still you can destroy all the defenses from the long distance. I'm still not convinced that this gun is good enough, so I'm putting in at the C tier. And now my beloved S12. This gun is S tier, nothing to say, the best gun in the game, the quickest time to kill in the entire game. This is the best weapon in the finals. Now KS-23 for the heavy class. This shotgun actually got also buffed in this patch, and not in the way you think, because the damage is the same, the range is the same, the distraction you can make with this gun is actually way better. Now you can destroy every wall with only 3 shots and you don't need to aim exactly in the same spot like before. So this is way more consistent in terms of destroying the environment. This gun have decent damage, it has good combo with the winch as well as charge and slam. I'm pretty positive about this gun. I think I will put it higher in B tier. And the last heavy class weapon is the spear. This is very cool concept for the weapon in my opinion, but sadly it is very poorly created. Maybe developers didn't have much time in season 3 because the spear have many problems and this is essentially the worst version of the hammer. Yeah, but right now it is just D tier, the worst weapon for the heavy class. Okay, so this is the final tier list. I think this is quite accurate, but of course we need to see how these new guns will behave on the real game environment. Maybe some of them will have some kind of bugs that will make them unplayable. Also Ember can implement some quick fixes or quick nerfs for the new guns, so we will see how meta will change. But that's it for me. Thank you for watching and I will see you in the finals.